Yo, what's cracking everyone? Eric Ship 111 here. So today I've got a slightly different video for you guys. Earlier this month, I was fortunate enough to get invited to play an early exclusive preview build of Project Cars 3. Now, unfortunately, there were a lot of limitations in terms of gameplay capture. So what you see on the screen is essentially everything that I was allowed to record. But with that said, I did get to dive quite deep into the game, exploring many different cars and features, and I must say from what I have seen, it's been very impressive. Now, Project Cars in the past has been a full-on simulation where the only proper way to race is by using a wheel and pedal. However, these are also the same developers that created the Need for Speed Shift series, where arcade and part sim racing were blended together, resulting in a fun but yet competitive driving experience. Many within the community debate whether this is a Need for Speed Shift 2 or a Project Cars 2 sequel, but for me, I feel Project Cars 3 is almost a game on its own, and from hours of game time, here are some of the things that I learnt from playing the game early. Starting off with number 1, my real first impressions. So in Project Cars 3, you initially begin with a 2-lap race featuring the new Corvette C8 race car. Now the key for this initial sequence is that it's used as a tool to introduce players into the game, which allows them to adjust AI difficulty and behavior along with driving assist. It almost acts as a benchmark for what kind of experience you want to have in PC3, ranging from a forgiving arcade racer to a realistic experience. And for me, being somebody who hasn't played the Project Cars series in years now, it was a good reintroduction back into the franchise, but given as how forgiving and accessible that first teaser race was, it was a good indication that Slightly Mad Studios were targeting a much broader audience, which for someone like myself who isn't a hardcore sim racer, it was a welcoming experience and encouraged me to further see what the game had to offer. With that said, yes, it is still possible to adjust all the settings to full-on simulation. Number 2, physics and handling. Now, as I mentioned in my previous point, there's a strong element of accessibility in this game, which is what the developers over at Slightly Mad Studios were aiming for. Thus, whether you have a steering wheel or controller, no peripherals in Project Cars 3 is compromised. So I initially began my experience using the controller, as that's how I played most of my racing games before giving the wheel a go. And to my surprise, it was a simple plug and play. I didn't need to head over to the settings menu to adjust all the inputs like the previous Project Cars title, and that was a huge plus because with these quote-unquote hardcore racing games, some players who perhaps don't have the budget to buy a wheel or pedal setup still want to dip their fingers into the game, and to remove that hurdle, bridging that gap to controller players is brilliant. The execution from what I have seen so far was excellent. I was actually enjoying the races in Project Cars 3 with the controller, and only with mild assists like traction control and ABS. It felt no different to other simcade juggernauts like Gran Turismo or Forza Motorsport. But you might be asking, what about the wheel and pedal experience? Unfortunately, if you are looking for that proper, full-on racing simulation, I don't believe you will find it here. With tyre wear and fuel management both removed, some aspects of proper racing, such as the use of lift and coast to mitigate tyre wear, is just not needed. However, from a handling perspective, the cars I drove still had very realistic depictions and is comparable to many other sim racing titles. Number 3, visuals. Now, if you are playing this game on the PC like myself, there's no other way to say it other than it's gorgeous. For a game that's focused solely on track racing that's outside of Forza and Gran Turismo, this is probably the best looking racer I have seen thus far. And that is huge, especially when they are trying to capture a wider target audience. For myself, I do hold graphics to a high regard, and it's important that the game is nice enough to look at to grab my initial attention. Now, I'm not sure if the graphics will be slightly downgraded on the console, but just know that the developers are certainly targeting that 60 frames per second. This will be a massive plus, as far too many multi-platform racing games favour the power of the PC and leave console players out in the dry with less frame rates. Number 4, the cars. probably what most of my subscribers are here for. Now, I will say the car list isn't as big as a Forza title with just over 200 cars, but what I realized is that the list is very diverse. If you have played any of the project cars in the past, you will know that there are many different classes ranging from your sports cars to hypercars and then all the way to your racing cars like your GT3 classes to open wheelers. Now, unfortunately, I can't reveal the cars in the game as of yet, but the developers certainly chose quality over quantity. There's not one car in that game that I don't want to drive, which is far more important than having 700 cars and disregarding around 500 of them. As you can see from the gameplay, the new 2020 Toyota Supra GR is in the game, both its road-going version and race car variant, and there are many hypercars in the game that even Forza are missing too, which I'm very excited to announce very soon. Not only that, these cars can all be loaned in a custom race, which to me is very important, as sometimes racing games lock away their top tier cars, forcing you to only get a chance to drive it once you reach a certain driver level or career progression, which can be quite off-putting, particularly if you just want to drive the car out in a simple custom race. And lastly, number 5, career mode and car customization. So, career mode in Project Cars 3 was very easy to follow. It's laid out in a linear fashion where you begin your journey driving E-Class sports cars like the FK2 Honda Civic Type R. Now, you don't just get given that car, there are other cars to choose from, but that's just the car that I drove. Now, each class bracket has 4 championships to win, and within each championship there are races to win. This can range from a simple 15 car race to hot laps to even new game modes such as Pace Setter, where you set a bunch of lap times and the one with the lowest average lap time wins, meaning consistency is key. Now, on top of that, there are rules and restrictions for some championships, much like many other career modes that you've probably experienced in a racing car video game. So I will say, from my experience, nothing really stood out. However, it is solid, and I will say it is on par with most career modes in any other racer. Now, this time, Project Cars has included car customization. I'm not sure how much of this I can actually talk about, but just to let you know, yes, you can modify your car's performance, and for some cars, you can even have a full racing conversion too, which I will say is pretty cool. It's kind of like the old days of the first Gran Turismo. So there we have it, guys, 5 things that I have learnt so far from playing Project Cars 3 early. Now, I will say, at the moment, the game has kept me captivated. I don't claim to be a sim racer, I'm just a car racing gamer, and this just so happens to fit within what I like to play. I know there's a lot of hardcore sim racers out there really berating this game, and I just don't think that it's that fair, really. I guess unless the real game comes out, then maybe some criticisms will be valid. Anyways, I am excited to share more news about Project Cars 3 with every one of you guys watching in the near future. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button. That would really help me out. I hope you did find this video helpful for any one of you guys that are perhaps looking at getting this game. Anyways, if you guys would like to see more Project Cars 3 news or any other racing games such as Forza Horizon 4, make sure to click the subscribe button with notifications turned on. That way you won't ever miss out on another video that goes live, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.